Ethan, it's Vanessa. Her voice was too casual, the kind people use when they're trying too hard. I held the phone tighter. Nessa, hey, what's going on? I shouldn't even be calling you, she said, a little laugh slipping through, but I think you should know. Claire's been busy. My stomach nodded. Busy, she said softly, with someone else. I blinked, staring at my office wall. What the hell are you talking about? Forget I said anything, she whispered. I thought you deserved to know. Claire has been seeing Henry. I saw them together, more than once. They don't even hide it anymore. Henry who? My voice cracked. Henry Blake, she said quickly. But Ethan, please don't tell Clara I called you. She'd kill me. I'm only looking out for you. I swallowed hard, my throat dry. Vanessa, are you sure? Because you're talking about my wife, I'm sure? She cut me off. I've seen them together. I'm sorry. Just don't let her take you by surprise. The line went dead. Sat frozen, phone still at my ear. Clara, Henry Blake. None of it made sense. Clara had been distant lately, but I told myself it was stress. The late nights at work never gave me a reason not to trust her. Don't let her take you by surprise. Vanessa's words echoed in my head all day. By the time I got home, the house was dark, except for the kitchen light. Clara stood by the counter, scrolling through her phone. She didn't even look up. You're late, she said flatly. Clara, I said, my voice unsteady. We need to talk. She set her phone down and finally looked at me. Her expression was unreadable. About what? Are you seeing someone else? Her lips curved into a cold smile. Wow, Vanessa really can't keep her mouth shut, can she? My breath caught. So it's true? Does it matter? She said, tilting her head. Ethan, I want a divorce. The word slammed into me like a truck. What? I'm done, she said. I don't want this marriage anymore. It's over. I stepped closer. Can't just throw this away. Clara, we've been together for 6 years. You've been married to your company, she snapped. I was lonely, Ethan. You left me no choice. No choice. My voice cracked again. I was working for us. Everything I built for you. For us. Don't make this about sacrifice, she said, folding her arms. You think? Throwing money at me counts as love? Henry makes me feel alive? Something you stopped doing a long time ago? Henry, I whispered, shaking my head. This is insane. Clara, please, we can fix this. I don't want to fix it, she said sharply. I want out, and I'm taking what I deserve. What you deserve? My fists clenched. You're already with another man, Clara. What more do you think? You deserve? She looked right through me. Half of everything. I staggered back, heart pounding. You're not serious. She said coolly. I stood by you while you built that empire. I deserve my share. I stared at her. In disbelief, you stood by me? Clara, I worked 18-hour days while you spent half of them at spas. I begged you to join me in the business, to be part of it, but you didn't want to. She shrugged. And yet I'm still entitled to half. That's how this works, Ethan. Get a lawyer. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the fire in my chest. Clara, don't do this, please. We can talk. We can figure this out. There's nothing to figure out, she said, grabbing her purse. I'll have the papers sent over. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Stepped in front of her, blocking the door. Don't walk out. Not like this. I love you, Clara. She stared at me, her expression softening for just a second, then hardening again. I don't love you anymore, Ethan. The words cut deeper than anything else she'd said. I felt my chest tighten as she brushed past me and opened the door. Wait, I said hoarsely. Is Henry really worth this? Is throwing everything away? She glanced over her shoulder, her voice calm and cruel. He's worth more than you are right now. And then she was gone. I stood in the doorway, staring into the darkness, unable to move. My hands were shaking, my body numb. Everything I'd worked for, everything I believed in, had shattered in one night. The phone rang again. I almost didn't answer, but the sound was deafening in the empty house. Ethan. It was Daniel, my best friend. I tried to steady my voice. Yeah, you sound like hell. What happened? She's leaving me, I whispered. Clara wants a divorce. There was silence on the line. Then Daniel cursed. That bitch. Told you she was trouble. Are you okay? No, I said. Sinking into a chair? No, I'm not. Listen to me, Daniel said firmly. You need to protect yourself. Clara's going to go after your company. I'd bet my life on it. I closed my eyes, the weight of his words pressing down on me. I can't think about that right now. I can't believe she's gone. You'd better start believing. He said, and you'd better fight back, Ethan, because they're not just walking away. They're coming for you. I hung up a few minutes later and sat in silence. The house felt colder than it ever had. She was gone, and I didn't know how. I was supposed to survive the storm that was coming. I walked into Clara's mother's house the next afternoon, my chest tight. Clara was sitting in the living room. With Vanessa beside her, they were sipping wine like nothing had happened. Clara, I said, forcing my voice to stay calm. We need to talk. She raised an eyebrow. We already talked, Ethan. I told you it's over. Not like this, I said, stepping closer. I want to hear the truth from you. Are you with Henry Blake? Vanessa smirked, crossing her legs. Oh, so Vanessa. Told you, Clara said lazily. I turned to her. I'm asking you. She set her wine glass down and looked at me like I was a child. Yes, I'm with Henry. He gives me what you never could. I felt my fists clench. What? And what exactly? Is that money? Attention? Everything, she snapped. He makes me feel alive, Ethan. You don't. Vanessa leaned in with a grin. You really didn't see it, did you? Claire's been miserable for a long time. Henry just makes sense for her. I stared at them, disbelief burning in my chest. You two planned this, didn't you? You've been waiting for the right moment to cut me down. Clara stood up. Stop acting like the victim. You buried yourself in your company and ignored me. I deserve better. Better. My voice cracked. Do you mean a man with a history of bankrupt businesses and fraud allegations? Smile faltered for a second, then returned. At least he knows how to treat her. You just worked and worked like a machine. No wonder she left. Vanessa, shut up, I snapped. This is between me and my wife. Ex-wife soon, Clara. Corrected. And don't talk to her like that. She's been more supportive than you ever were. I took a step back, my pulse racing. So that's it? You're walking away with him and leaving me like I'm nothing? You are nothing without me, Clara said coldly. You built that company, but I was there. I made sacrifices too. I'm entitled to half. Sacrifices, I said, laughing bitterly. What sacrifices? Spending my money? Pretending to care about my work when you were sleeping with Henry behind my back? She flinched, but only for a moment. I deserve more than you could ever give me, Ethan. Henry understands that. I turned to Vanessa. And you? You enjoy? Watching me fall apart, don't you? She shrugged. I warned you, Clara wasn't happy. You just didn't listen. I wanted to scream, but all that came out was a whisper, not a please don't do this. Don't throw us away for him. Gee. Tilted her head. I already did. And Ethan, don't embarrass yourself by begging. It's pathetic. Vanessa laughed softly, the sound like nails on a chalkboard. Something inside me snapped. Fine, I said, my voice low. But you'll regret this. Both of you will. Clara rolled her eyes. Empty threats won't save you. Just sign the divorce papers when they come. I turned and left before the anger could consume me. That night, Daniel showed up at my place with 2 beers. You look like hell, he said, handing me one. I feel like hell, I muttered, sinking into the couch. She admitted it. She's with Henry. Vanessa was there, smirking like she won the lottery. Daniel shook his head. I never trusted those two. They're snakes. You have to be careful, Ethan. Clara's not just leaving you, she's going to try to take everything you've built. I don't care about the company right now, I said, staring at the floor. You should, Daniel said sharply. You spent years building that empire from scratch. Clara and her new boy toy will strip it from you if you let them. Really want Henry Blake running around spending your money? I clenched my jaw. No. Then you'd better toughen up, Daniel said. Get a lawyer, secure your assets, and stop letting her walk all over you. No. She's not the woman you all married anymore? I exhaled slowly. I loved her, Dan. I thought she loved me too. She doesn't, he said flatly. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you can fight back. I looked at him, my hands trembling. I don't even know where to start. Help you, he said. But you have to promise me something, Ethan. No more begging, no more hoping she'll come back. She's already gone. I nodded slowly, though my chest felt like it was caving in. Ethan, sit down, Mr. Grayson said as soon as I walked into his office. His voice was calm, but his eyes told me this wasn't going to be good. I sat, barely breathing. Tell me. He slid a folder across the desk. Clara's attorney sent over her preliminary demands. She's asking for half of everything, your personal assets, your investments, and the company. I felt the blood drain from my face. Half of the company? She had nothing to do with it. I built it from scratch. I know, Grayson said evenly. But you were married when it was incorporated. It makes it community property unless we fight it. I clenched my fists. She's not taking it. She can take the house, the cars, anything else, but not the company. That's mine. She wants it because it's the biggest asset, he said. And because she knows how much it means to you, she's playing leverage. I stared at the folder, my chest tightening. She doesn't even care about it. She just wants to bleed me dry. That's likely true, Grayson admitted. Anger won't help you win. We need a strategy. I leaned forward. I started that company with nothing but borrowed money and sleepless nights. Clara didn't lift a finger. I begged her to be part of it, but she was too busy shopping and going on vacations with Vanessa. Now she wants to take half. Over my dead body. I understand how you feel, he said. But if you go into court angry, you'll lose everything. She's already painting herself as the neglected wife who sacrificed her happiness for your success. We have to dismantle that narrative. She was never neglected, I snapped. She lived like a queen. I made sure of it. I skipped meals to pay our bills in the early days. She wouldn't even come to my office openings. Didn't believe in me then, but she sure believes in my bank account now. Grayson held up a hand. Then we used that. You have documentation? Showing her lack of involvement? Emails? Texts? Records of her spending? Plenty, I said bitterly. Kept everything. While I was building the business, she was posting photos from vacations I paid for. She probably still has those pictures online. Good, he said. We'll build a case that the company is your separate property. We'll also protect your assets now, before she freezes them. I rubbed my temples. How do I even fight someone I once loved? She was supposed to be my partner. Grayson's voice softened. I know, but right now, she's your opponent. If you want to keep what you've built, you need to think like a businessman, not a husband. I sat there for a moment, silent, my thoughts drifting back to the early days. I could still see myself working from a tiny apartment, surviving on coffee. And hope, while Clara complained about how little time I had for her. I remembered begging her to believe in me, to stick with me just a little longer. She barely did. Now she wanted half. I won't let her destroy everything, I said finally then. Listen carefully, Grayson said. First, move your liquid assets into protected accounts. Second, don't speak to Clara or her attorney without me present. Third, stay calm. She'll try to provoke you. I nodded slowly. What about the company? Can I move shares? Transfer? Ownership. Not without raising red flags, he said. But we can restructure certain parts quietly. You'll need trusted people in your corner. Daniel will help, I said. And maybe Sophia, my operations manager? She's smart and loyal. Good, he said. Keep this circle small. If Clara finds out, she'll accuse you of hiding assets. I stood up, my hands trembling. I can't believe she's doing this. I gave her everything, and it still wasn't enough. She's counting on you being emotional, Grayson warned. Don't give her that satisfaction. Outsmart her. I met his eyes. I will. She thinks I'm just going to roll over and let her take what's mine, but she's wrong. I worked too hard for this. Grayson nodded. Then we start now. I left the office feeling both drained and determined. The weight in my chest was still there, but under it was something harder. "Calder?" Daniel called as I got into my car. "How did it go?" "She wants half," I said flatly. "Including the company," he cursed. "You're kidding." "No," I said. "But I'm not letting her take it. Not after everything I went through to build it. She can have the house, the cars, whatever, but not the company." "You're going to have to fight dirty," Daniel said. "Then I'll fight dirty," I said. She wanted war, and now she's going to get it. As I drove away, my hands tightened on the steering wheel. Clara thought I was just a cash tree she could cut down and walk away from, but she was about to learn I had deeper roots than she ever imagined. "Have you seen the photos?" Daniel asked the moment I answered his call. "What photos?" I muttered, already dreading the answer. "Clara and Henry," he said. She's parading him around at some charity gala. It's all over social media. She looks like she's celebrating. "Winning the lottery?" I clenched my jaw. "Let her enjoy it. She wants me to see it. She wants me to break." "She's flaunting it, Ethan," Daniel said. "People are already whispering about you like you're the fool who didn't see it coming." "I don't care what they say," I lied. "I'm not giving her the company." "That's what she's aiming for," he said. "She'll humiliate you until you cave." I hung up, my chest tight, and walked into my office. Sophia was waiting near my desk, holding a tablet. "Mr. Cole?" she said hesitantly. "I think you need to see this." "Ethan," I corrected automatically. "What is it?" She handed me the tablet. "Vanessa and Henry, I think they're moving money through fake investment firms." I traced a few of Clara's transfers, and they all connect to shell accounts under Henry's name. I stared at the screen. "You're sure?" "Yes," she said. "Look here, Vanis. Signed as a witness on several documents." "They're laundering money, Ethan." My breath slowed. "Clara has no idea, does she?" Sophia shook her head. "I don't think so. She's just funneling cash into whatever Henry tells her. If this blows up, it'll take her down too." I handed the tablet back. "Keep digging, quietly. No one can know you're helping me." She nodded. "I'll be careful." Minutes later, Clara called. I hesitated but answered. "Ethan," she said sweetly, "how are you holding up?" "Fine," I said flatly. "I saw you moved some accounts around," she continued. "You don't need to do that. We can settle this amicably if you just sign the company over. I'd even let you stay on the board." I laughed bitterly. "Amicably? You're sleeping with Henry and bleeding me dry, Clara? Forgive me if I'm not in the mood to cooperate." "You're being dramatic," she said. "I'm offering you an easy way out. Otherwise this will get ugly and you know I can win sympathy in court." "Why are you doing this?" I asked quietly. "Is it about money or is it about hurting me?" "Both," she said without hesitation. "I deserve more than you ever gave me. Henry understands that. He knows my worth." "Does he?" I murmured. "Because I know Henry's worth, and it's not much." She scoffed. "Pathetic. You're still jealous." I forced a sigh. "Fine, Clara. I'll think about your offer." "That's all I ask," she said, her voice dripping with satisfaction. "We don't have to be enemies, Ethan. We can walk away from this clean." I hung up, my hands shaking, but not from sadness. Don stopped by that evening. "You look calm," he said suspiciously. "Too calm. I'm pretending," I admitted. "She thinks I'm beaten, but I'm not. Sophia found something big. Henry and Vanessa are laundering money. Through fake investments?" Daniel's eyes widened. "Are you serious?" "Yes," I said. "If I can prove it, Henry's finished, and Clara will go down with him." "Good," Daniel said. "But be careful. Clara's still dangerous. She's manipulating everyone into thinking you're the villain." "I know," I said. "She called earlier, acting like she wanted peace. She doesn't realize I already see through her." Daniel smirked. "So what's the plan?" "I play along," I said. "I'll let her think she's winning. Meanwhile, Sophia will keep digging. When I'm ready, I'll pull the rug out from under them. And if she catches on, then I go for the throat sooner," I said coldly. Daniel leaned back. "I like this side of you. But promise me you won't let anger drive you. We need precision." "I'm past anger," I said quietly. "I just want to end this. Later, That night, I scrolled through the photos Daniel mentioned. Clara clung to Henry's arm, flashing the same smile she used to give me. Vanessa was there too, watching them like a proud puppet master. Enjoy it while it lasts, I whispered, because soon the mask they were wearing would slip and I'd be the one smiling. I hadn't planned on seeing Clara and Henry that night. I'd only driven by Henry's condo to clear my head. But when I saw Clara's car parked outside, like something told me to stay. I slipped into the shadow of the hallway and heard shouting. From inside, "You promised me, Henry." Clara's voice was sharp, panicked. "I promised nothing," Henry snapped. "You're the one who said you'd get me access to Ethan's company. Where is it?" "You've done nothing but stall." "I'm trying," she yelled. "He's being stubborn. Can't just force him to hand over the company. You'd better figure it out," Henry said. "I'm out of cash. The investors are threatening to pull out. If I don't get money soon, everything collapses." I gripped my phone and hit record. "You told me you were secure," Clara said. "That was before my accounts were frozen," he shouted. "I need your half of Ethan's assets. Otherwise, we're finished." Clara's voice trembled. "Left my husband for you, Henry. You can't just... You left him because I told you what you wanted to hear," he cut in. "Don't act like you did it for love. You wanted the money as much as I did." I bit back a bitter laugh. "You're using me," Clara whispered. "Of course I'm using you," Henry said coldly. "Do you think I'd put up with your whining? Otherwise, get the company, Clara. That's the deal." She didn't reply, and the silence in the condo was heavy. I backed away quietly, my heart pounding, and slipped out before they could see me. That recording was all I needed. When I got home, Nathan was waiting at my door. "Where the hell have you been?" he demanded. "Out," I said, brushing past him. He followed me inside. "You look like you saw a ghost." "I saw Clara," I said. "And Henry. They were tearing each other apart." "He's broke, Nathan." "He's using her to get to my money." Nathan's eyes widened. "Please tell me you recorded it." I held up my phone. "Every word," he grinned. "Then destroy them. Leak it online. Let everyone see what kind of people they are." I shook my head. "No, that's messy. I need to do this right." "Right?" Nathan repeated. "They're trying to ruin you. You have evidence that could humiliate them forever and you want to play nice." "I'm not playing nice," I said quietly. "I'm playing smart." Nathan threw up his hands. "Fine, go call your lawyer and be patient while they keep tearing you apart in the media. But if it were me, I'd burn them now. Patience will hurt them more," I said. He stared at me. "You've changed." I met his gaze. Good. Because the man I was before let Clara walk all over him. That ends now. Later, I called Grayson and explained everything. "You have the recording?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "It's clear. Henry admits he's broke and using her. Clara admits she left me for him. This is powerful evidence, Grayson. Said we can use it to destroy her credibility in court, but you can't release it publicly yet. If they know you have it, they'll panic and make it harder for us to trap them legally." Nathan, sitting nearby, glared. "This is exactly what I warned you about. You're going to wait until they regroup and come after you harder." Grayson's voice was firm. "If Ethan stays quiet, Clara will keep thinking he's cornered. That makes her careless, gives us leverage." I closed my eyes, breathing slowly. "Ethan," Grayson said, "do you trust me?" I nodded even, though he couldn't see me. "Yes." "Then sit tight," he said. "We'll use this at the perfect time. When we do, they won't recover." After we hung up, Nathan shook his head. "I still say you should crush them now." "Done reacting out of anger?" I said. "Clara expects me to explode. Henry expects me to lash out. I'm not giving them that satisfaction. So what are you going to do?" he asked. I looked at the phone in my hand. "I'm going to let them dig their own grave. And when they're standing on the edge, I'll push." Nathan gave me a long look. "You're colder than I thought you could be." I stared out the window at the city lights. "I have to be. Dod. They took everything good in me and used it against me." That ends. Now, for the first time since this started, I felt something other than heartbreak. I felt in control. "Everything's ready," Grayson said over the phone. I've moved your liquid assets into protected accounts. The company restructuring will be finalized in 48 hours. Claire won't see a dime. Good, I said, staring out the window of my office. She still thinks I'm cornered. I'm not giving her a reason to think otherwise. Then keep playing the part, he warned. Act beaten. She let her guard down. After the call, Sophia stepped into my office carrying a folder. I found more, she said, setting it on my desk. What is it? Henry and Vanessa created a network of fake investors, she explained. They're funneling money from Claire's accounts and promising her returns that don't exist. It's a classic Ponzi scheme. When it collapses, she'll be ruined. I opened the folder and skimmed through the documents. This is enough to bury them. Yes, she said. But you have to be careful. If they find out, they'll run. I nodded slowly. I won't tip my hand yet. Later that evening, I asked Vanessa to meet me at a quiet bar. She arrived late, looking as smug as ever. Ethan, she said, sliding into the booth. I didn't think you'd call me. Did you finally realize Claire is not worth fighting for? I leaned back, keeping my expression flat. Actually, I just wanted to talk. Off the record. Her lips curved. Out. What? I know what you and Henry are doing, I said softly. The color drained from her face. What are you talking about? Fake investors. Shell companies. Claire's money disappearing into black holes. I leaned closer. You think I wouldn't notice? Vanessa forced a laugh. You're bluffing. Am I? I slid a single document across the table, just enough to rattle her. Helping Henry drain Clara dry. But here's the thing, what makes you think Henry won't dump you the second you're no longer useful? Her eyes flickered. He wouldn't he? I cut her off. He's broke. Desperate. And you're just another liability. Vanessa gripped the paper, her hands trembling. What do you want? Nothing, I said calmly. Just remember what I told you. When this blows up, you won't see it coming. I stood and left her there, shaken. When I got home, Clara called. I made sure to sound defeated when I answered. You sound tired, she said sweetly. I am. I said, I'm tired of fighting. Maybe we should just settle this. She chuckled softly. That's the smartest thing you've said in weeks. We can meet tomorrow and draft an agreement? I promise, it'll be fair. Fair, I repeated, forcing a sigh. Fine, tomorrow. After hanging up Nathan, who had been waiting in my living room, raised an eyebrow. You're really convincing when you act like you've given up. Almost had me fooled. She's swallowing it whole, I said. She thinks I'm beaten. That's exactly where I want her. What about Vanessa? He asked. She's cracking, I said. I hinted Henry might dump her next. It got to her. Nathan smirked. Good, she deserves it. So when do you strike? When everything's locked down, I said. Sophia's still digging. Grayson's finishing the legal work. Once we're secure, I'll expose Henry and Vanessa. Clara will fall with them. Nathan shook his head. You're playing a dangerous game, I know, I said. If I rush, I lose. I can't afford that. The next day, Clara met me at a downtown restaurant. She arrived late, wearing a bright smile like nothing was wrong. You look better, she said as she sat down. Finally making peace with reality? Something like that, I said quietly. Good, she said, leaning forward. I've already talked to my lawyer. If you sign over the company and a few accounts, we can wrap this up quickly. We'll both be free. I nodded slowly, pretending to consider it. Maybe you're right. Maybe fighting is pointless. Her smile widened. Exactly. There's no reason for us to keep dragging this out. We can be civil. Civil, I repeated. Forcing a weak smile? Yeah, I guess we can. Inside, I was already counting the days until she realized just how wrong she was. Ethan, it's happening, Grayson said over the phone. Detective Reyes has the evidence. Henry Blake will be arrested tonight. I leaned back in my chair, my voice steady. Could make sure the press knows. As they will, he said. Once he's in custody, Claire's entire safety net collapses. Then we wait, I said quietly. 3 hours later, Daniel burst into my office, holding up his phone. You've got to see this. The headline was everywhere. Henry Blake. Arrested for embezzlement and fraud. His smug mugshot stared back at me. Daniel grinned. That's one snake down. Now what? Now we see how Clara reacts, I said. It didn't take long. My phone started buzzing nonstop. Calls, messages, all from Clara. I ignored them. By evening, there was a knock at my door. When I opened Clara stood there, her eyes swollen and desperate. Ethan, she said, her voice breaking. Please, I need your help. I didn't move. Why would I help you? They froze my accounts, she whispered. Henry took everything. I didn't know he was stealing. I swear I didn't know. I crossed my arms. You didn't want to know? That's different. Tears slid down her face. I'm sorry I made a mistake. I left you for the wrong man. Please, Ethan, you're the only one I can turn to. I almost laughed. The only one? What about Vanessa? Her expression twisted. She turned on me. She said it's all my fault. She called me stupid for trusting Henry. She won't even answer my calls now. She's looking out for herself, I said coldly. Just like you did. Clara stepped forward, grabbing my arm. Please, I know I hurt you, but I loved you once. Doesn't that mean anything? I pulled my arm free. You didn't love me, Clara. You loved what I could give you. And when Henry promised more, you threw me away. Ow. She shook her head frantically. No, it wasn't like that. It was exactly like that, I said. You wanted half my company, half my life. You wanted to watch me break. Now look at you. Her sobs grew louder. I'm begging you, Ethan. Just help me get through this. I've nothing left. I stared at her for a long moment, letting the silence hang heavy. Then I stepped back and closed the door in her face. She pounded on it. Ethan, please don't do this to me. I leaned against the door and whispered, I didn't do this to you. You did it to yourself. The knocking eventually stopped. Later, Nathan called after seeing the news. Clara showed up at your place, didn't she? Yes, I said. And I turned her away. I said flatly. Good, Nathan said. She doesn't deserve a second of your pity. I don't pity her, I said. Feel anything for her anymore. Nathan whistled. That's cold. Cold is what I have to be, I said. Sophia called next. I saw the arrest, she said. Does Clara know you were behind it? No, I said. And she never will. She thinks her world is crumbling because of Henry's greed. That's fine with me. You're in control now, Sophia said. Softly, yes, I said, and I'm going to stay that way. The next morning, Vanessa called. I considered ignoring her, but curiosity won. Ethan, she said quickly, you have to believe me. I had nothing to do with Henry's crimes. Signed the documents, I said calmly. I didn't know. She insisted. I was just helping Clara. She's the one who stopped, I said. I don't care. You and Clara deserve each other. She's blaming me for everything, Vanessa said bitterly. She's telling people I convinced her to leave. She's throwing me under the bus to save herself. I almost smiled. Sounds familiar. What's that supposed to mean? She snapped. It means you're both finally getting what you deserve, I said, and hung up. Daniel stopped. Bye later with coffee. You look different, he said. I feel different, I said. I'm done being the victim. Clara and Vanessa burned every bridge they had, and now they're drowning. I'm not throwing them a lifeline. Daniel smirked. So what's next? I looked out the window at the city below. Now, I finished what I started, Clara showed. Up at my office without an appointment, my assistant tried to stop her, but she pushed through the door anyway. Ethan, she said breathlessly, please, I need to talk to you. I didn't stand. Shouldn't be here. She closed the door behind her. I know, but I'm desperate. I've lost everything. Henry, he used me. Vanessa used me. I have no one left. I kept my voice cold. You made your choices. I was manipulated, she said quickly. Vanessa convinced me Henry was the answer. She said I'd finally have the life I deserved. I believed her. I was wrong. I leaned back in my chair. You were wrong about a lot of things. Clara stepped closer. I see that now. Ethan, I'm sorry. I was selfish. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. You realized, I said evenly. You just didn't care. She flinched. That's not true. I loved you. Stop, I interrupted. Don't use that word. You loved the lifestyle, the security. You loved what I could give you. When Henry promised more, you ran. Tears filled her eyes. I was stupid. Please, give me another chance. We can start over. I'll be better this time. I stood and walked around the desk, closing the space between us. Do you even understand what you did to me? You humiliated me. You tried to destroy everything I worked for. You wanted to see me break. I regret it, she whispered. Every second of it. Regret doesn't fix anything, I said. Trust is like glass, Clara. Once it's shattered, it can't be put back together? Not the same way. She reached for my hand. Please, Ethan, I have nothing left. I can't survive without you. I pulled my hand away. Should have thought about that before you threw me away. Her tears spilled over. I was wrong. About you. Henry lied. Vanessa lied. I thought you didn't love me anymore. I thought you'd be fine without me. You thought wrong, I said. And even now, you're not here because you love me. You're here because you're broke and alone. That's not true, she said, shaking her head. I miss you. I miss us. There is no us anymore, I said firmly. You ended that the night you chose Henry over me. She collapsed into the chair across from my desk, sobbing. I don't know what to do. You figure it out, I said. Just like I had to. What? Clara looked up at me through wet lashes. You're really not going to forgive me? No, I said. I'm not. Not even after everything we've been through. Especially after everything we've been through, I said coldly. You showed me who you really are. I won't forget that. She wiped her face with trembling hands. You've changed. You're colder. I had to change, I said. You made sure of that. For the first time, she seemed to understand. Her shoulders slumped, and the fight drained out of her. I ruined everything, didn't I? Yes, I said simply. She stood slowly, looking like she might collapse. I'll go, she whispered. But for what it's worth, I did love you once. I didn't answer. She lingered by the door. Goodbye, Ethan, said quietly when the door closed. I let out a long breath. For the first time, I didn't feel anger or heartbreak. I felt free. Grayson called early in the morning. It's done, he said. I exhaled slowly. She signed. Yes, he said. You keep the company and all protected assets. Clara walked away with far less than she asked for.
Oh, good,
I said. Thank you, Ethan, Grayson added. She looked broken. Are you sure you won't reconsider? I'm sure, I said. This is the only way. Later that afternoon, Clara arrived at the courthouse to collect her papers. She didn't look at me. I didn't look at her. When it was over, she stopped me in the hallway. I'm leaving the city, she said softly. There's nothing left for me here. I nodded once. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for. She gave a small, sad smile. I already did. I just threw it away. I didn't answer. She turned and walked out, shoulders hunched, and I felt nothing but finality. That night, Vanessa called. I declined. She called again. I finally answered. What do you want? I asked. Ethan, I wanted to explain, she said quickly. I didn't know Henry was using me. I was manipulated too. You were a willing accomplice, I said. No, Vanessa, I interrupted. We're done. I don't ever want to hear from you again. Silence, then a frustrated sigh. You've changed. Came by with pizza and beer? So it's official? As I said, taking a slice. He grinned. You kept everything. That's a win, Ethan. Doesn't feel like a win, I admitted, but it's closure. Daniel joined us a little later. I'm proud of you, he said. You didn't let them break you. I almost did. I said, almost doesn't count, Nathan said. You came out stronger. Sophia stopped by the office the next day with a file. Everything's in order, she said. The company's secure. The worst is behind you. Thanks to you, I said. I couldn't have done this without your help. She hesitated. Ethan, are you okay? I thought about it. Better than I expected. Betrayal changes you. Above. I'll rebuild. Shh. She smiled. Softly. I believe you will. I looked around my office. the same place that had once felt like my only safe haven. "I never want to be that naive again," I said. "You won't be," Sophia said. "You learned." That evening, I met Nathan and Daniel for drinks. We talked about everything but Clara. At one point, Daniel raised his glass. "To new beginnings," he said. I clinked mine against his. To new beginnings. When I got home later, I sat in the quiet for a long time. The house felt empty, but it no longer felt cold. Clara had moved away. Vanessa was out of my life. The divorce was final. I'd lost love, but I'd kept my dignity. I'd kept what I built, and I'd kept myself. Nathan met me for coffee a few weeks after the divorce was finalized. "You seem different," he said, studying me. "I am," I replied. "For the first time in months, I'm not waking up wondering what Clara or Vanessa will do next. I'm free," he smirked. "Free and richer than ever." I shook my head. It was never about the money. It was about not letting them take what I built. Nathan leaned forward. "So what now? You're not going to hide away in your office forever, right?" "I'm not hiding," I said. "I just need time to figure out who I am without all that pain weighing me down." "That's fair," he said. "But don't forget to live. Ethan, you deserve it." "I know," I said softly. Later that day, Sophia came into my office with reports in hand. "The numbers are strong," she said. "We've recovered from the legal mess faster than expected." "That's because of you," I said. "You kept things together when I couldn't." She smiled. "I just did my job." "You did more than that," I said. "Owe you a lot, Sophia." She hesitated, then asked, "So how are you? Really?" I thought about it. "Better, stronger?" "But I'm not rushing anything. I need time to heal." She nodded slowly. "Just don't close yourself off forever. You deserve happiness too." I gave her a small smile. "I'll find it when I'm ready." Her gaze lingered for a second longer than usual, and I understood what she wasn't saying. But I wasn't ready for more than hope. Not yet. That evening, Daniel invited me out with friends. I went not because I wanted to celebrate, but because I wanted to feel normal again. Over drinks, Daniel leaned over. "You really came out of this stronger," he said. "A year ago, you would have fallen apart." "I did fall apart," I admitted. "But I didn't stay there. That's the difference." He raised his glass. "To never letting anyone use you again." I clinked my glass against his. To that, the next morning, I stood outside the company headquarters. The building's glass facade reflected the sunrise. And for the first time, I allowed myself to feel proud. Nathan called as I stood there. "You're not at work already, are you?" "I'm outside," I said. "Just thinking." "What?" "About how far I've come," I said. "How far we all have. This place almost slipped through my fingers because I trusted the wrong person. That won't happen again." Nathan was quiet for a moment. "I'm glad you see that now. You're not the same man Clara betrayed." "No," I said, "I'm not." After the call, I walked inside. Employees greeted me with smiles, and I realized how much I'd missed this being present, being steady. Sophia stopped me near the elevators. "Big day?" she asked. "Not really," I said. "Just a new one." She smiled. "A new beginning, then?" "Yeah," I said. "A new beginning." As the elevator doors closed, I thought about Clara for the first time in days. Feel anger anymore, just a quiet acceptance. She'd made her choices and I'd made mine. Daniel's words echoed in my head. "Don't forget to live." I wasn't bitter. I wasn't naive either. I was ready for whatever came next.